everybody. How are you? I'm watching. Hey, Angie. I'm watching the camera very closely because well, now it's doing things that it's not the camera's fault at all. It's my fault. Stay in your home. Okay. Welcome to Quilt Nerd. I'm watching my monitor thing very closely because tonight we have a special guest. And the special guest is my sister, Hannah Fons, my older sister, who taught me everything I know. Oh, yes, there she is. Okay, great. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Now, here's the thing. We're using, so you can hear Hannah, but you can't yet see Hannah. I really want you to see Hannah because she's beautiful. But and we invited Mom. I think Cake, you texted Mom, right? Great. So we'll meet Cake as well. But so guest star is this thing that Twitch does, and it's amazing. And you can have people on your stream, and it's really exciting. But either I'm doing something wrong, or Twitch is doing something wrong. But when we've done this before, hey Nancy, when we've done this before, there's been some issues. And so so if things get real crazy, don't worry about it, because what we can do is end the stream that we have going and start it right away again, and there's a grace period. So there's no new link. You don't have to, you can just chill. Sometimes if I say we're going to be right back or something like that, if we have technical issues and we have to do something, if you just wait a second, it'll probably just come back on, or you might have to refresh your browser, just hit that refresh button, tap your browser bar again and refresh Twitch. But we should be okay. But I wanted to let you know, I'm getting hot, really nervous, that it could happen. It could happen. And I was talking to Cake about it, and it's like, oh my God, I just, I try to get it right every time. But the truth is, can you believe what we're doing? We're broadcasting with cameras and visuals and tight t-shirts, and we've got Hannah in New York City and Cakes in the Maryland, not DC area. That's not. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's called the DMV.
The DMV. DMV. I'm really sorry you have to live in the DMV. Okay. The DOT. So anyway, I wanted to let you know because we may just have Hannah's voice, the dulcet tones of Hannah Fons. And Hannah, welcome to the show, whether we get to see you on camera or not. I love you so much, and I'm so glad you're here. This is a special show because you're here, and it's a special show. Welcome. How was your day?
Well, thank you. My day was day-y.
Yeah?
It was, I can't complain. Did some work, did some sketching leading up to this. No notes.
Good. No notes. Love it.
Yeah.
So you're saying you were sketchy today?
Typically pretty sketchy.
Pretty sketchy. Interesting. Yeah.
What I will say is that,
Yeah.
Well, I will say so I won't say anything.
Okay, you won't say anything.
I have a technical question, but I'm not even going to ask it right now.
Oh, a technical question?
I'm just going to have faith.
You may have generous time to ask those questions. We'll see.
Hey.
And Cake, how are you?
I'm quite well. I had a very productive day, which I haven't had in a while, so.
Don't you love those? You have to embrace them when they happen.
Yes, for sure.
True. It's true. Good. I'm glad. Well, I like to chat a little bit at the top of the show. I like to, settle into things. It's hard. I have the soundboard ready. Everything's ready. We're good. We're ready to go. But we are going to get right into it because tonight, here's why. It's not because I'm worried about technical difficulties. It's not because, I don't know. It's not for any other reason. But the fact that tonight's show is the Quilt Nerd on Parade show. And this particular special episode, this very special episode of Quilt Nerd happens about once a quarter. It started on New Year's Eve 2022? 2021. I never really know what you should call it, if it's the year that is to come or the year that's ending. But the first New Year's Eve we ever had on Quilt Nerd, we had our second most recently, right? So whatever year it was, we did this thing. I was like, hey, why don't you send me pictures of what you're working on? Send me pictures of the quilt that you've got going, or the blocks that you have up on your wall, or whatever you're doing. And the show can be about you, and we can talk about your projects, like the people who watch the show regularly, you know, the Quilt Nerds. And the subscribers, you have to be a subscriber to submit a Quilt Nerd on Parade submission. It's not like I'm like going to say, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out. But we have a limit of 30 because we've had to break up this show into different, like, 2-part episodes sometimes because there's so many people. But the Quilt Nerd on Parade is about you and about what you're doing. And most of the time on Quilt Nerd, we talk about quilt history, we watched videos, we talk about quilt culture. I mean, it was such a great show. I mean, I thought it was a great show on Saturday night. We had a great crowd, and we were talking about quilts from this particular book that was published in 1990. And it was just a good time, you know? We have a good time here. And most of the time we talk about the past. And so Quilt Nerd on Parade couldn't be more au courant, you know? It's like what's happening right now in the lives and the studios or on the kitchen tables of people who really enjoy the show and want to share their stuff. And so we're going to do that. We have 23 tonight. We've limited it here to 23 because I want to make sure to get through everybody and not carry the show over to Saturday night because we've got special things on Saturday night. So we're going to look at 23 projects. And that might seem like a lot, but the thing is that this show is usually like a couple hours long, and that's strange to people who've never seen a live stream before or seen, I don't know, or maybe seen Quilt Nerd, but a lot of the live streams I like to watch, they just, you know, they are as long as they kind of want to be, you know? You don't have to have a specific time, and we usually chat and go and hang out together for a couple hours. So we share these things, and if you can't see everything, you can dip into the replay on YouTube or on Twitch. If you want to subscribe, and you should, because you get lots of stuff, including entry into the giveaway every month for a great book or prize, which we will be drawing for tonight. I'll wait and tell you what it is in just a minute. It's a really, really good giveaway this month. So subscribers get that. You don't have to watch ads when you subscribe, and you can only subscribe here on Twitch, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. So you can use your Amazon Prime login. It's a good time. It's really easy. It's really easy, and I would appreciate your support. It helps make the show possible. Okay, and Hannah was invited to this particular show because we want your critiques, Hannah. You're an art person.
Sit in judgment.
Yeah, you'll sit in judgment.
23 projects.
Yeah, that's right.
I was in art school once. I know how this goes.
Yeah, that's right.
You're merciless.
Yeah, that's right.
I hope people are ready.
What's that? You hope people are ready?
Yeah.
You really sound serious. You really do.
Yeah, because, well, I have opinions.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been around quilts and quilters my whole life. They don't scare me. I'm not,
That
I'm
is
not
true.
concerned about their feelings.
That is true. That's true. She's ruthless. She's vicious. She's vicious. So, first of all, what I want to do is I want to show you the intro quilt behind me because that. Hang on, let me shut this door. 1 second. I always start with an intro quilt, you know. And the intro quilt tonight, Hannah, I picked specifically because of you. And so this quilt, let me show you. This quilt is from the Denver Art Museum, okay, from the collection of the Denver Art Museum. Hey, everybody, by the way, I want to say hi to everybody tonight. But I can't tonight. So just thanks to everybody who's subscribing and who just subscribed. Hopefully I'll get time to say thank you to some of you personally a little later. So I'll have an intro quilt behind me every time. It changes. Whoa, lots of stuff is happening. We got the kitten. Hannah, did you see that kitten sewing? Did you see it?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I think
the little one. Oh, yeah, I've seen the kitten sewing. The little gift that, yes, of course I have. I thought you showed it just now, in which case, no.
Yeah, okay. We did see it. I think I saw it, right, Cake? Did you see the kitten sewing?
Because that's like a little flurry of activity, right?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't watching the broadcast I was watching.
Unbelievable.
I was watching something else.
So it's okay. I think maybe I made it up. When somebody gives a gift subscription and the person re-ups their gift subscription, we see a little kitten sewing on a
Kenny gifted Eva Little a sub. So
thank you,
yes.
Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. You're the best. Appreciate you. So anyway, so Hannah, I picked this as the intro quilt for tonight's show because I thought you might have thoughts about this particular block, like Tree of Life. Does this seem familiar to you? Do you have any connection with something like this?
I feel like yes, like maybe a crime was committed or something. You're like, or maybe you're my shrink, and you're like, do you have any what sort of associations do you have?
Yeah, exactly.
How does it make you feel?
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah.
Well, I mean, Tree of Life, that's a classic, like, OG block.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know, no matter whether you're a, like, legacy quilter or new quilter, like, Tree of Life is a thing.
Right.
I feel like I may have had a quilted vest at some point when I was very small, but maybe you had one on it, like on the back.
Yes.
Or one of us did anyway. So, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the palette.
Great.
I think it's got sort of a nice sort of autumnal kind of like pumpkin spice vibe going on.
Okay, excellent.
No, in the best possible way. I really enjoy pumpkin spice, so that's a compliment.
Excellent.
I like the little unexpected breaks in like the little zigzag borders. And I don't know whether that it was a practical choice because someone ran out of fabric, or whether it was a deliberate choice just for elements of interest. But either way, it is successful viscerally to me.
I love it. Thank you so much. See, I think you will see what you have to look forward to tonight if you have a quilt or a project in the Quilt Nerd on Parade show, because Hannah's really good at this. She's really smart and she knows like visual things. And I agree with you. I mean, I think the palette is really wonderful. This quilt, by the way, so it's at the Denver Art Museum in their permanent collection of quilts. They have some really interesting quilts there. We looked at some of the Denver Art Museum's quilts a long time ago. Our own Pi, also known as Susanna Johns, who was one of the first quilt nerds to be like, hey, do you need a hand with some stuff? It seems like you got a lot going on, Mary. And I was like, yes, please. So she helps out with stuff around here, and she'll be in Denver in April, right, Cake? Is that when she's gonna be there? And she lives in Q8, so it's gonna be exciting.
I can't remember. I think it was late spring that she said she would be there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we're trying to figure out, like, I was like, do you want to do it? But could Susanna stream from the Denver Art Museum, like log in as on the Quilt Nerd account and do it? So we're working that out. Hey, Georgia. Thanks for coming by. And so we're working on that. But that was making me think about Denver. You'll be the first people to know, right? If Susanna, those who watch the show are going to know if Susanna's going to be able to stream from Denver, but from the Quilt Museum, because there's this particular quilt museum. But the Denver Art Museum has quilts too, and this is one of them. And so this quilt was made between 1890 and 1900. It was made in the United States. It's machine pieced and hand quilted. It is pine tree medallion with borders, and it says, set on point in the center of this quilt is a pine tree block whose dark blue triangular corners provide distinct separation from the 12 surrounding borders of varied stripes and zigzags. Look closely to discover several areas where a border or design element has an unexpected color change. The faded colors. Yeah, you see it?
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of it, right? Yeah, exactly. It says the last thing here is it says the faded colors of some dyes seen in the pine tree and bluish green borders puts them slightly out of harmony with the rest of the quilt. I mean, except that, like, I totally dig it, right? That it's like this variation.
Except that it doesn't.
Yeah, totally. So, yeah, go ahead.
That's it. I just like it.
So it's not a content warning for, like, not safe for work, okay? And I don't want to freak you out, but I have to give you a content warning because I want to show you a quilt that I showed on the show on Saturday that is from our past. And I want to get your take on it, but I just need to warn you, like, you might have like a Madeleine moment, like a Proust moment in about 5 seconds, okay? Are you prepared? What? Go ahead.
You're talking to me.
Yeah,
You're talking to me or
yeah. No, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Hannah. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Talking to you. Are you ready? Because it has to do with this quilt, and I want to get your take, and it's intense. Okay.
All right.
Now
you're freaking me out. So okay, put it up. And it's gonna be on a delay because I'm looking at the YouTube.
I know.
All right.
It'll be up here in just a second for you.
Is it a quilt from our past or just the past?
No, it's a quilt from our past.
Whoa, damn.
Yeah, see, I knew it. Okay, I knew it.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's hung in the stairwell of our old farmhouse, like way back in the day in Iowa, in the Twigs and Sticks.
Wow. Okay, so that's very interesting, Hannah, because where I remember this quilt hanging was in our dining room on West Jefferson Street in Winterset. Honey, it hung.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was digging deeper in the crates, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That quilt oversaw like hundreds, if not thousands, of meals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, it was in this book that we looked at last time, and I was like, yeah, I had a lot of meals sitting, at the Fons family dinner table, looking at this quilt, and I was like, if I show Hannah this quilt on the show, is she going to be like, is it going to be weird? Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay.